Hello everyone, Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 30. Here's your agenda for the week. I'm going to cover the news, provide a market overview of the indices, and we have 871 companies reporting earnings this week, to include four of the Mag 7. This is the Super Bowl earnings week of earnings, so it's going to be a jam-packed video for you. Here's a recap of what happened on week 29. First losing week in a while. We went 2 and 3. No entry was 23. Look at TXN. It did close in the zone on Friday. So pay attention to that. And then there's a lot of zones from the last 2 weeks that are close to hitting. So you may want to review the last 2 weeks to see if there's opportunities there for this week in addition to the levels that I provide this week. Here's what the earnings are looking like this week. Again, a jam-packed week, all week. Should have to see some movement every day, and pretty much starting on Tuesday. The big company that's reporting on Monday is going to be Waste Management. However, we got Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple reporting on Wednesday and Thursday. So those are going to be some drivers for us this week. Went ahead and I updated this last week. As you can see, we had two wins, 3 losses, and that's bringing us the year to 50 and 10. Moving into the news for the week, as you can see, there is no news on Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, 30 minutes after the opening, we have the jobs opening report. So be mindful of that. There might be some increased volatility 30 minutes after the open. For those of you trading futures and forex, understand that the Australian dollar will have CPI after hours. So be mindful of that on Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday, we have advanced GDP and non-farm payroll in the morning, pre-market, so that might cause some additional volatility in addition to what's happening with earnings at the open end of the market. And then for those of you, again, trading futures and forex, be mindful the Canadian dollar has several reports 15 minutes after the bell. Then at 11 o'clock, we have the Fed fund rate and the FOMC statement and a conference. So we'll see if Jerome Powell is going to stick to what he's doing and not cut rates. As you know, there's a lot of pressure with him and Trump, with him to try to cut rates. As long as there's no surprise and he doesn't cut rates and stick to things that should not cause extra volatility in the market this week. However, we know the tensions that are rising there. So just be mindful of that at 11 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday. After hours, tentative on the Japanese yen, you can see that. So that may come into fruition on Wednesday afternoon. So be mindful that the Japanese yen might be affected. Then moving on to Thursday, we have GDP for the Canadian dollar pre-market, and then we have three reports pre-market for the US. So unemployment claims, employment costs, and PCE price index. So that might cause volatility into the open Thursday morning. And then lastly, on Friday, we have an unemployment rate and average hourly earnings, and that's pre-market as well, which could cause some volatility into the open. And then the results from Apple and Amazon leading into Friday as well. So just expect some additional volatility this week. And then we have manufacturing PMI at 7 a.m. All right, moving into the chart, starting with the SPX. As you can see, the SPX just continues to make all-time highs after all-time highs. There is no supply in the SPX. The first level I have for you is 6318.21 to 6277.48. Moving on to the NASDAQ as well, continuing to make all new time highs. Again, that may change with the pressures this week of for the Magnificent Seven reporting earnings. The first demand level I have for you is at 22,715.02 to 22,381.61, and there is no supply in the NASDAQ. Moving on to the Dow. So for the Dow Jones, no supply in the Dow as well. It finally reached its all-time high. And the first level I have for you is going to be at 445.55 to 442.03. And lastly, the rut. The rut still in trail. It's been holding our level here. that's been provided for the last couple of weeks. You can see we've dropped out of this level this is the third time. If it decides to continue this momentum to the upside, I would utilize this level with caution at this point. It's already worked 3 times. However, that level is 2263.84 to 2300.18. The next level above on supply that I have for you is going to be 2333.73 to 2370.13. Now, on the demand side, first level I have for you is going to be at 2165.46 to 2134.26. Now, moving into earnings and starting with Monday, the first company I have for you is going to be Bank of Hawaii, ticker symbol BOH. On the demand side, 61.92 to 57.47. On the supply side, 78 to 81.40. The next company I have for you is FEMSA, ticker symbol FMX. On the demand side, 89.97 to 87.82. On the supply side, 114.43 to 119.36. Moving on to Monday after the market, first company I have for you is Waste Management, ticker symbol WM. No supply in Waste Management. First demand zone I have for you is at 213.72 to 208.84. Next company I have for you is Nucor, ticker symbol NUE. On the demand side, 109.78 to 101.33. On the supply side, 167.74 to 178.41. Next company I have for you is Whirlpool, ticker symbol WHR. On the demand side, 74.23 to 63.66. On the supply side, 134.07 to 138.95. Next company, UHS, ticker symbol UHS. On the demand side, 139.66 to 133.17. On the supply side, 229.65 to 240.37. Moving on to Tuesday morning, United Health Group. On the demand side, 253.61 to 225.98. Be mindful that this level has already worked and it is more aggressive, so there is a subsequent level here at 176.17 to 155.25. On the supply side, 372.55 to 394.58. Next company I have for you is SoFi Bank, ticker symbol SOFI. It's been on a tear this year. Looking for a pullback here. 15.58 to 13.89 is the first level I have for you, and currently no supply. It's pretty high, so we're going to leave it at that. It just pretty much recently made all-time highs. So the first level I have for you again is 15.58 to 13.89. Next company I have for you is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. On the supply side, 87.77 to 90.84. On the demand side, 62.66 to 58.85. Next company I have for you is Boeing, ticker symbol BA. Approach the supply here at 243.48 to 250.42. Be mindful there is a subsequent level here at 269.28 to 297.72. On the demand side, 187.45 to 181.77. Next company I have for you is Spotify, ticker symbol SPOT. No supply in Spotify. First demand level I have for you is at 575.15 to 533.98. Next company is UPS, United Postal Service, ticker symbol UPS. On the demand side, 94.67 to 81.42. As you can see, this is the level it's been bouncing off since early April, and it can't get through it. On the supply side, 108.68 to 112.27. Next company I have for you is Merck, ticker symbol MRK. On the demand side, 63.09 to 56.10. On the supply side, 97.90 to 100.07. Next company I have for you, Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG. 148.21 to 146, and there's another level here at 146 to 144, so you can feel free to combine these levels. Just understand that they're two separate levels. Let's call it 148 to 146 and 146 to 144 on the demand side. And um there's no there is supply, but nothing that I see that's strong and significant, so we're going to say that there is no supply on PG. Moving on to Tuesday afternoon. First company I have for you is Visa, ticker symbol V. On the demand side, 320.24 to 316.52. On the supply side, 369.52 to 375.66. Next company I have for you is Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX. On the demand side, 87.73 to 82.49. Be mindful there are two subsequent levels right underneath it, pretty much $81 to 78 even. And on the supply side, 104.65 to 106.80. Next company I have for you, Booking Holdings, ticker symbol BKNG. No supply in Booking. First demand zone I have for you is at 4628.73 to 4370.1. Next company is Teradyne, ticker symbol TER. So I don't have a demand zone for this is weird. Okay. Lines must have got erased. Here we go. First demand zone I have for you is going to be at 77.44 to 70.95. On the supply side, 103.17 to 111.60. Moving on to Wednesday morning, first company I have for you is Vertiv, ticker symbol VRT. On the supply side, 148.12 to 156.29. On the demand side, 97.5 to 90.90. Next company I have for you is Altria, ticker symbol MO. No supply for MO. First demand zone I have for you is at 56.69 to 55.49. Next company is Kraft Heinz, ticker symbol KHC. On the demand side, 25.35 to 23.36, and KHC has room to run. I don't foresee it getting here on earnings, but that supply zone is at 38.56 to 39.39. So if you elect to get into Kraft Heinz, that would probably be your target above 35. The next company, Generac, ticker symbol GNRC. On the supply side, 170.76 to 175.88. And on the demand side, 115.55 to 104.90. Next company I have for you is Humana. So for Humana on the demand side, 214.64 to 185.70. And then on the supply side, 289.35 to 298.80. Next company is Hershey's. Hershey's has been bouncing just pretty much back and forth between our levels all year. That level on the demand side being 153.64 to 134. And it's been pretty much stopping at 207.22 to 213.91. As you can see, we just keep bouncing back and forth these two levels, and we're approaching the 207 level again. Moving on to Wednesday afternoon, we do have Meta and Microsoft, but out of respect of our members that get this weekly and have a subscription, I will not be covering those today. If you want to get access to those, feel free to check the link in the description down below to go ahead and subscribe for weekly information on the Magnificent Seven. So moving on, the next company I have for you is Robinhood, ticker symbol Hood. Also, Hood has been on a breakout significantly, doing very well this last year, has pretty much doubled in price. No supply for Hood. First level I have for you here is 95.60 to 89.87, and a subsequent level at 85.05 to 81.49. Next company I have for you still Wednesday afternoon is Carvana, ticker symbol CVNA. It's another ticker symbol that I think has gone from like $4 to, pretty much from $26 all the way up to $332. Insane. No supply for Carvana. First demand level I have for you is 264.02 to 245.45. Next company I have for you is Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. On the demand side, 121.63 to 171.10. On the supply side, 186.25 to 196.58. Next company I have for you is Lamb Research, ticker symbol LRCX. Very close to supply here at 105.05 to 109.44. On the demand side, 76.18 to 68.48. Next is Ford, ticker symbol F. On the supply side, 13.57 to 14.19. On the demand side, at 860 is pretty far away. We're going to go with 971 to 920. Next company I have for you is ARM, ticker symbol ARM. On the supply side, 180.31 to 188.56. Be mindful that this level has already worked on previously, so it's higher risk. On the demand side, 113.85 to 107.11. Moving on to Thursday morning, CVS, ticker symbol CVS. On the supply side, 73.40 to 75.28. On the demand side, 48.02 to 42.72. Next company, AbbVie, ticker symbol ABBV. On the supply side, 201.46 to 212.11. And on the demand side, 155.41 to 150.39. Next company I have for you, Norwegian Cruise Lines, ticker symbol NCLH. On the supply side, 25.81 to 27.45. On the demand side, 15.01 to 14.04. Next company, MasterCard, ticker symbol MA. On the supply side, 584.63 to 594.71. On the demand side, 507.05 to 495.83. Moving on to Thursday afternoon, I have Apple and Amazon here, but again, out of respect to my members, I cannot provide information on that. If you would like to subscribe, the link is in the description below for information on that on a weekly basis. Moving on to our cryptos. First company I have for you is Monster Strategy. No supply on Monster. First first demand zone I have for you is 324.51 to 300.26. Next company is Coinbase, ticker symbol CON. No supply in coin ever since the beautiful bill has been passed and the crypto bill was passed a couple of weeks ago. All crypto has been on a tear to the upside. First demand zone I have for you here is 311.12 to 293.39. Next company I have for you is Reddit, ticker symbol RDDT. Be mindful this is an aggressive zone because it's already worked. However, that level is going to be 156.15 to 174.05, given that it's a larger level. I left it in play. And on the demand side, 118.43 to 106.22. Next company I have for you is Cloudflare. Cloudflare, ticker symbol NET. On the demand side, 160.19 to 150.28. On the supply side, 203.80 to 221.83. Moving on to Friday, excuse me. ExxonMobil, ticker symbol XOM. On the demand side, 104.23 to 101.23. On the supply side, 117.56 to 119.95. And as you can see, there's another level here at 119 to 123. So a lot of supply up here for ExxonMobil. And then on again, so just be mindful there are two levels here on top of one another. The demand side being 104 and supply starting at 117 all the way to 123. Chevron following suit on Friday with XOM. That's going to be CVX. You can see we are at this level. Be mindful that this level has already worked. So leaving it here because we haven't reached it. So 156 to 161. However, the higher probability level here is pretty much call it 165 to 169.34. On the demand side, we're going to go with 139.56 to 135 and a subsequent level here at 131.5 to 128.01. Next company, Moderna, ticker symbol MRNA. This is a level here. This is a larger time frame level that cannot break through. So this is all demand, pretty much 34 to 17. If you want a better entry, you can see we bounced off the 31 here. Let me change this since this level has already worked and move it to this one. So what I'm trying to say is Moderna is a buy from 34 to 17. However, if you want a better entry at 20, your entry will be at 28.27 to 26.69 with no supply in sight, meaning if Moderna can run, it can pretty much run all the way to 52. So it has a lot of room to run to the upside. That's going to do it for me in the charts this week. As you can see, we have a plethora of earnings. I call this week the Super Bowl of earnings. Feel free to follow me on social media. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you want to learn how to become a member or more things that I can provide for you, feel free to check out the website or email me. And as always, till next time, happy trading.